Hi, my name is Kees and I help people from doing to being, and today I'm here with a video helping you from doing to being. So I'm gonna be elaborating about from doing to being, what that is, how that works, what type of mentality or feeling is behind that, and also, what it actually is and how you can implement it in your life. Because I always talk at the beginning that I say I help people from doing to being, but then, it's awesome for you to know what that actually is, because otherwise you don't maybe have the background of what I actually want to tell you. And for this, I wrote down this model on my whiteboard, which I'll show you later on in this video. But for now, I want to talk about first of all, what do I mean with doing? So, this whole doing to being thing, what I mean with that is it's not on the level of circumstances. So the circumstances or the physical world where you actually do something or not do something. Let's say I work on the computer or I do not work on the computer. So in that sense, doing to being would be sitting like this, and doing would be something like this, creating a video. But that's not what I mean with doing to being. And I also don't mean it in the lower layers of thoughts and feelings. Because in that layers, you can either have a thought or not, but it's not per se that that is what I mean. You can think, and when you're doing thinking, or maybe you're being, where you're actually, seeing what happens. That is a little bit what I mean, and both of these things can happen from a state of doing and being. So it's a little bit more deep than that. Because what I mean with doing to being is, doing to me is actually where you're pulled out of your center. You're actually doing something in a way where you're trying to force things. It's a sort of forced energy. It's not relaxed. It's not chill in any way. It's very forced, very mind-based, very stressed. So an idea, for example, is if you're in a hurry and you think, I need to do this, I need to do that, and it's very mind-based, it's not flowy, it's not relaxed, it's not letting go, it's just very forced. And a lot of people are in that state most of the day without them knowing it. And being is more the state where you're, before I go into being, so with doing, you're actually energetically out of your center, you're out of your body. You feel like overrun, you're like grasping, like, oh my God, I want something different. I need to do this, I need to do that. Well, it's not chill to live in that way, because you're always grasping for something else. You're thinking you need to do something else. It's a sort of goal-oriented mind where I need to do this, I need to do that, rather than just seeing what happens and flowing with what happens. Okay, so the state of being is where you're in your center, you feel relaxed, you feel in the flow, and you're just letting go and going along with whatever happens, while staying in your center, while staying relaxed in your body. You feel grounded, you feel excited, you feel rested. That even though if you would not do something, let's say nothing happens in the top layers, let's say you're not really getting things done, or you're not really thinking about a lot, or you're not really doing the things you maybe like to do, you're still chill, you're still in your center. And that way actually that you're doing the right thing at the moment, that you're not forcing yourself, because that forced energy always tends to lead to problems. And the thing, and this is how I sketch it as well, so we can go to the model. I'll show you now. So in the middle, I put being. And I put being there for a reason, because being is in the center. It is your natural state. It is the best state where you can function. It's the state where you're most centered. It's the state where you're most relaxed. It's the state where you're in your power. You can easily do things. You can flow things. You're not really over emotional or over triggered. You're just relaxed. And that's the state where I love to guide people to be there more often, or let's say most of the day. And right now I'm at the phase of my life where I've, let's say, not mastered, I wouldn't say I've mastered it because there's lots of steps to this, but I've come a long way in this, and I'm in being most of my days. So my general state of mind is very relaxed. I'm very flowy. I'm very not so mind-based. I let go of lots of my thoughts and feelings, and that way my mind gets quiet and I'm chill. So, but being is the basis of what we are, right? And then just a little bit further along, we can be pulled out of that being, and then we're into doing. And then the interesting thing is what can actually pull us out. And there are two main things that pull us out. And the two main things that pull us out are limitations. So that's where we believe that we need to be a certain way. So then being, because being is actually open, being is free. There's not a particular, let's say, boundary to being. You can always be. But and life is flowy like that. Life can go in all directions, and we can go in all directions. But if we limit ourselves and say we must be nice, we must be this way, we must be someone that gets the work done, we must be someone that is productive, we must be someone that is powerful, for example, we must show power, we must have strength. When we have all these musts, or if I fail, I must do this. If we have all these must-dos for us, or sort of rules and guidelines for our life, and we can have, these are subconscious usually, and they come out with a lot of people as well in their language, but usually they're subconscious. And these subconscious rules we call limitations, because it does not allow for life to just flow. Let's say if you have the rule for yourself, I must be productive, then you can't sit on the beach and be quiet. No, then you need to, like I did when I had that belief, I must be productive. I was sitting on the beach and I was reading books, and I was reading books in a sort of way where I need to get this knowledge in, I must do it. I must be productive. I must be adding value to the world, I cannot rest. Because otherwise, I might not add value. So, while if you're in a state of being, you're thinking, my being here is just already adding value, right? So that's the mindset. So with limitations, these can pull you out. So sometimes if you notice that you get into doing for yourself, you can start understanding, wait, I'm being pulled out by one of my thoughts, by a thought that is coming back, by a certain feeling, and that can be a limitation. Another way you can be pulled out of being is your identification. And an identification is thinking, I am like this. And this is a trick of the mind, identification, to make us survive and to hold us in a certain position where we're safe. Right? So let's say we have a job and a partner, and it is working out for us in a sort of superficial way where we have money, we have comfort, we have sex, we have somebody that cooks and cleans next to us, cooking and cleaning, but somebody that feels like a buddy as well. And then let's say we we have a deeper feeling that we need to separate and move on with our life from that partner or from that job. Then our mind kicks in and saying, but I am married, I am a person that's loyal. I am a person that, I am strong. I am, someone that will go through this with my partner, There's just these this is what's happening for a lot of people. Decisions are made in the base of the brain, and the oldest parts of the brain, and actually language cannot enter there. So because language cannot enter there, it's not a rational decision. It's usually let's say, I wouldn't say gut feeling decision, because it's more of a deeper feeling. So it's not based on pleasure, but based on fulfillment. It's not based on sex, it's based on love. It's the deeper feeling. So that deeper feeling of this is right for me, that comes from a deeper space in your brain. And then it needs to exit through our speech and our actions through the newer parts of our brain, the prefrontal cortex. And through the prefrontal cortex and other control mechanisms, right, which are great for survival, but not so good to thrive in a modern world, what happens actually is that we try to rationalize our feeling, right? We try to rationalize our decision. And the problem is here that we often can't rationalize why we do it. We can't rationalize why this would be good for us. So we block the decision. We block the feeling. We block our deeper self from coming to the surface, from expressing itself. We block ourselves. And in that way, we get more problems. Because we block ourselves, we kind of hinder ourselves from the growth that we need in life. But this identification can, in that way, pull us from the deeper part, let's say our being, to our doing, like us needing to do something to stay stable, or to be in line with this identity, with this mind-based identity which we've created. So that's not a very good thing for us, of course. Hope that makes sense. And then what's also in the model is other things which can trigger us to do, and that's actually life events, right? Life events, if we have something terrible happening to us, that can surface or bring to the surface some deeper identifications or limitations that are actually hindering us. And if something in the world is a problem for us, right? If we're suffering, then we know this is a limitation or an identification. So if a friend dies, it's of course very normal to to be very sad and deeply sad about that. But suffering is not pain. Pain is, for example, when you bump your toe, and suffering is when you think, I'm such an idiot that I bumped my toe. That's suffering. So it's a sort of extra layer that we add onto something which is already there. The hurt or the grief from the friend dying is there. But if we say we shouldn't grieve too long, we should be optimistic and things like that, we rationalize it and we push away the grief into our mental baggage, and we carry around that mental luggage or mental baggage or whatever we like to call it. So life events, they trigger our identifications and limitations, but also just life in general is here for you to grow on a soul level. So because of that, you're being pushed by life. Life is not comfortable, and it's not really comfortable for any of us. Even though you think, okay, rich people are more comfortable, or people that have partner and children are more comfortable. No, they have their own piece of shit. Everybody has pain to carry. Everybody has suffering. Everybody has their own shit, their own life events that have been a problem in the past. But we all can learn how to deal with that in a very productive way by letting it go, by staying in being, and not start doing because of that. So this whole model, which I've shown to you, is actually life triggering us to see what is inhibiting us from being in our being. Being relaxed, flowy, in the moment, not so mind-based, just not seeing life as a problem to be solved, seeing life, because that's what the mind does, right? The mind thinks life is a problem to be solved, but really it's not. Really, we're one with life, everything is energy, and it's just what's happening right now. And that's okay. What's happening right now is okay. Until we go create some sort of problem which we don't have. So, to me, this is an ongoing lesson for all of us to go deeper into being and to let go of the ideas, like the identifications and the limitations that we have. And also to go deeper into being and let go of the doing. Let go and see where we're still doing things, we're still forcing things, we're still stressed out, we're still not accepting, we're still not relaxing, we're still not okay with what happens. And we're still trying to get control in a world that we can't control. Right? So, I'm very interested if this resonates for you, if this is something that you really like, and if this is something that you see in your own life, like, okay, here is where I'm doing, I'm compensating, I'm being try-hard, I'm trying to, I'm not natural, I'm not authentic, and here's where I'm actually very authentic, and where I'm being, and that way being myself. So one of the ways to be more yourself is to ground. And I created a video about that, but especially a grounding meditation, which I think you would really like. So if you like me to send it to you, I'll leave a link below and you can click and leave your email address and I'll send you the grounding meditation. And you can get some of my updates as well. If you like the video, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. And I'm still evolving and I love to evolve together. So thanks for watching and wish you the best of days. Bye.